through mid. It's the Danes up through short side. And now in towards this B bomb site. But, oh, the USPs, quick response. They get a man into jungle, but he's now kind of trapped behind enemy lines. How much usage are they going to be able to get out of Borup in this position? Especially if he ends up being one of the last players alive, which seems to be the case now. Actually, it is just niko left in the server. He was over towards short. And man, Heroic just got melted. They ran into that looking confident, like they had an idea, like they had a plan, and everything got uprooted once those guns of an old map. And I don't really like New Cash, if I'm being honest. It feels like it emphasizes some of the things that, you know, oh, hang on a minute. I'll hold this thought. I'll hold this thought. Because we have a real skirmish in the apartments with these SMGs.
So
oh
my
look,
God.
they're running in with the enemy, man. Look at that. Pack animals. They just charged them down. And Heroic hear all the footsteps, but they're like, yeah, there's loads of us.
3 on the board here. Good start again from MIBR, and this is now they're on the CT side, but this is good of a start that you want, especially on a map like Mirage, allows for the economy. You don't even have any essential bonus weapons, just the FAMAs here, so if one guy dies, could be a quick upgrade for just Yell to get an AWP. Bit of a execute here with ecos and some nades, some deagles and stuff like that. Not going to work out, but they do get 2 kills for it, but we know that MIBR has a lot of money. It's that area. Yell was there with an AWP trying to get a kill, but he's falling back now though. I love this. I was going to say, we do tend to see this a little bit. It's a connector split. But good positioning here though, coming in from MIBR. As I say that, it does get close. 1-on-2 situation now for Cadian. Picked up on flash, which is going to help him a little bit, at least to cross. Should be going down here though to bolts from the connector area. Oh no, he misses.
Oh no. They've given him a little bit of room. You don't want to give Cadian room. Oh, it's still close. And he gets the first. The immediate swing back in from
of the possibility. Throws a nade. Got to be careful he doesn't get pushed. Cello as well. So much tension here. Players in smokes. Oh, Storm gets the kill. That pulls Cello away from connector. Oh my God, Storm is just such a beast. He's done so much for Heroic in these.
Yeah, but you can tell there
maps
as well, right? In terms of positioning, that's great. And this is really how you win rounds from Mirage on some occasions of, you know, just someone landing a nice shot, you fork up the rotation a little bit. Cello goes down. MIBR had good positioning, but obviously with Yell going down the way he did, forced people to get a move on here instead. And this is Heroic getting the Bay bomb site. It's going to be for free now as well, with Bolts and Danico saving their weapons.
Yeah, it's going back to the midpoint. You know,
Apartments area. But it looks to be very much identical of the same round the Heroic's been doing 2 times in a row now. Worked out once for them. It worked out the second time. And that's nice. I mean, I think Heroic does a really good job on choking out the MIBR players here. I think one of the things that I saw that Faze started doing a little bit more was that when they noticed that teams got mid control, they tried to take a ramp control instead to kind of try and get an escape instead of just getting stuck on the bomb sites the way that we kind of saw MIBR just do. You are very much stuck once they come up in a ramp, connector, and potentially in palace at the same time.
oh no!
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
That's unfortunate. 25 seconds left now, 2-on-2. Bomb still not planted though.
So very winnable position. Another tray, 1-for-1. Yeah, I would have liked to have been in a 2v1, but of course he, well, we won't talk about it. Cadian faking the plant there. He only has so much time to do that, obviously. Now, likely be forced to go for the plant. He won't have time to fake it again, and that's information Yell knows. We can creep forward. Cadian with the jump spot there. Doesn't realize how close Yell has become in his position, and he's going to manage to easily win the clutch. Nice timing from Yell. And
he's showing his teammates.
He's urged the majority of the players to come through mid, and there's only maybe one lurk here. You get one of those. That's fantastic. Does that change the plan for Heroic, though? Do they want to go up to B now? Well, I look like they were investigating that opportunity, but Yell's picked off Tessus. Now it's desperation. They've only got cap positioning, so they have to go to B. Good trade from Cadian. Borup and Connector, they're split up at the moment. Which way will they go? Maybe off of the next pick. But at this point, look at the positioning from MIBR. They don't have to even give them anything. There's no peek. They can allow them to take the site. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, just Cello's position here is so hard to deal with, especially when you have SHZ in the CT spawn as well, mopping it up. Even if he goes down to take over mid, he can always fall back, but Heroic seems to have other idea in mind.
Wow. Pick straight away there in the Palace position. KD gets one as well. This was a terrible buy from MIBR. They really didn't have too much money to work with.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about the buy as well. We talk about utility a lot. Sure, could be said maybe Mirage less important than on a map like Inferno, for example, but nonetheless, you definitely don't want to come in empty-handed.
Yeah, it didn't really feel. I mean, MIBR so far as a team that we've seen opt for in those situations where it's like we can't get a full buy, we can get a couple of crappy buys.
Stop for a second. Cadian can't go out by himself. He has the bomb by himself, waiting really for Tessus here to make a play.
Oh no, he shot. This is wild, man. They have Tessa's trap. There it is, right? Finally, they swing onto him. So it is just Cadian left in this 1v3. Bombs down at the very, very least. That gives him a little more stake in this one. He's got the AWP as well. All these players coming from mid and jungle. Flash is real good. Cadian's blinded from it, and this now leaves him staring into the wall, waiting for the push. Missed shot the first time around. Oh, through the smoke, he does claim the life of one. Bomb ticking away. Cadian still wasting time. This is expert use of the clock, but the nade out. Oh my word! And it looks like he's done it. Somehow, some way, Cadian wins that round. 5 on the board for Heroic, and Cadian.
There's some information at least there on the hands of MIBR, but didn't get as much as they wanted to. That's a nice shot. Cello as well shuts it. Where was that? Shuts it down somewhere. Looks to be in mid as well in the connector area.
I like this from MIBR because just as I had been describing, Heroic have been looking really confident, but to a certain extent they've been allowed to set themselves up to have their confident runs through to the bomb sites. But here we actually had a spot where Heroic had to pause in mid, and during that pause, MIBR, they're not saying let's play more passive, they're saying let's find opportunities to get aggressive and to challenge before Heroic get onto a site. With that said, as I'm talking about that, looks like Storm is on a confident run there, able to take a couple extra kills, which is nice, but we're moving into the last round.
Cadian gets a kill. And we've seen this again and again from MIBR, opting a little bit more towards the 3, towards B. That's a nice entry though for Cadian. Gets bolts, but then all of a sudden it gets flipped back into a 4-on-3 now. He has to spot Stanico, so they do have control of the truck, but that's about it. There's still 2 MIBR members here on this B bomb site ready to fight for it.
Oh, well, no, not for long, actually, as it turns out. There's now just one, and it's Cello with another one of these smoke hides, man. He loves doing this, does Cello. Now, will he get away with murder again? Making a murderer, this is it? No, okay, it's actually Cadian to snuff him out. No.
Different team, though. Heroic, very good at the moment. It's a fast B play here, though.
There it is, Cadian doing what he can. A quick double is nice before they even get onto the site. Always what you want to see. Borup in the pillar position, trying to see if he can just delay, but he can't. The issue is forced. Tessus now forcing the issue himself. Out the window, out into the open arms of 3 loving MIBR players, and they will have...
Is down through middle. They've got Yell up on Cat, and they are trying to get up in through Connector. Okay, that's made life a lot easier now. Some pressure removed. There is still this under Palace player who currently was doing a pretty good job. Cello with the response. And it's music to our ears, but he's left in the 1v2. And Heroic with the ramp flank should have that locked in. Man, they snatch it away. Down with the caster's curse. It's all here, man. We got it all, CS Summit.
Cello has, what was that, like 160 ADR I saw there? That's not bad.
To be peeking mid a little bit. Might be timing, might be there, but they've walked up connector now. Yeah, he might have spotted them actually, or might just been a play on the side. But that's a nice spray down here from niko. MIBR was not expecting that position there.
Yeah, nice retake positions overall from Heroic to really just hedge their bets as best as possible in this round. And Bolt's looking to do some damage. I feel like, you know, he really wants to play for max damage here and see what else he can do to the economy. Like having every Heroic player, or 4 at this point, surviving. It's not really acceptable if you're MIBR and you want to keep that pressure on, limit the options of your opponent. Bolt's trying to get someone to peek him, trying to bait a peek there. But nothing doing. And at this point, he's starting to worry about those flank timings. But Heroic are just sitting on the right here, pushing Palace, trying to see if he can find anything. Ooh, got to be careful with the QQ there, but Bolts is hidden still. Will niko check this position? How deep is he going to go? And there we go, Bolts. That's a beautiful kill. They waited for an info play, and there it is.
Yeah, man. Not a spot that maybe you tend to see people in, so makes sense for that not to be cleared. But that's 2 entries here. Makes it a 5-on-3, and still a little bit dangerous. As we talked about, there's not a lot of utility, and there is an AUG at least on Cadian. But they're both situated over at the B-bomb site. It's really only Tessus that's holding a very defensive angle here. Is CT spawn by Ticket. This should be an MIBR round, but never say never. There you go. Gets the read now as well, though, from Bolts. He gets the first, but yeah, here we go. Now it's just all up to Tessus. Not going to happen. A lot of money, though, on the board for Heroic.
From window to allow this boost to come in. So, you know, it's not like a big misdirection in, like, taking the bomb B and then going, that's brutal. It's not like they've misdirected in terms of, you know, like taking the bomb somewhere and then going somewhere else. But they have used misdirection to get a player boosted into window without Heroic knowing about it. So let's see if Cello's able to get anything done from here. With Cadian back in CT, he's being a real nuisance to these comm players. And the aggression at ramp drops the bomb. So yeah, it's a nice idea, right, to get Cello into this position. And he is the one man to get a kill for MIBR. But it hasn't really done much in the grand scheme of the round. He's probably just a dead man walking here in mid, and there it is for Cadian. He'll put 12 on the board for Heroic.
That call to nade connect
ourselves, especially when we realize that these low buys aren't really necessarily working.
Ooh, that's fast. That's speedy. Oh, but yeah, that's the thing. Heroic might have given with one hand, they're taking with the other, and there's Tesses really locking it in, really driving home the victory. Oh, he's even looking for more. And poor old Yell, man. He's not going to be ready for this, surely. And here it is, the lock-in 13-10 in favor of Heroic. He got the reinvestment. They haven't really conditioned Heroic at all on this T side. And so it does feel like a real uphill battle right now. Cello, one man who maybe could make a difference, is already out of the round. And there's even more where that came from. That's brutal, man. It's already over before it's even begun at this B site. Cadian even wrapping in through lower just to seal the deal. And this is Heroic really kicking things up.
It's a half buy. Now MIBR chooses to do that, obviously. Again, going for the potential overtime then. Cello ended up buying, though, for 450. It's a bit of a weird wonky bias here coming in.
Again, I don't think we're going to see AWPs, are we?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, that might also be intentional, right? Like we talk about some certain maps not, you know, being AWP friendly, and maybe for MIBR, Mirage is one of those maps. But because of that as well, if they're not going to have, you know, an AWP here now, like I said, I would love to just see a set execute.
The Yell, okay, not expecting that. And that's a great way to start off the round. It may be Heroic doubling down, though, in their mid-efforts, because they still have presence here. Storm is still on the peak, has to fall back up to the flash. Tess is close on the connector. He's going to swing for this one. Oh, we can't get the frag. That's huge. Although there is the nade follow-up from Storm from Cat to finish off the weekend SHC. Still the battle over mid here. And MIBR, they don't have to commit into mid at this point. They have a 4 versus 3. They could always reset out of mid if they wanted to, given how much time is on the clock.
Yeah, and that was a nice setup there. We talked about Yell with the AWP. He gets the first 2 kills here. No armor still, Glasscan. Hasn't lost an ounce of life yet, though. We'll see. It's very slow and steady. Bolts is still just holding this A push potential. But based on the fact that he's not moving, it is looking very likely that they're going to try and get their way into connector. But they have not spotted Borup. Just gets the one, though. Still a 3-on-2 situation with really only Stouden here. And the timing, obviously.
I thought you would have seen him there, but... Oh, there we go. He goes back for it. And now pushing the smoke. Tess says, that's it, man. They get it done. Heroic. Take it over the line.